Welcome back to the Idle Talk Minis. It's your boy Fernando, and I'm here to talk to you about guns. Not really, but just an observation that I had on Instagram the other day. Whenever a guy posts a picture about like with a gun, it's just like, ugh, gross. Got a dude with a gun. Can you like do anything better with your life? But but this may say a lot about me? Question mark. Not too sure, but there was this girl who um posted a picture. She was like, it's 3 a.m. and the dogs want to go outside, and she had a little handgun in her pocket. She kind of like flashed it, it wasn't all in the bout, and she's like, so I gotta be protected. And I was like, I swiped up, okay, swiped up because I knew I can. It's not like I don't kind of know this person. I got an Easter card for God's sake last year. Actually, Easter's coming up. I want to see if I can get another one, but I said, and I quote, let me read you the thirst that I sent, because I was thirsting, immersed over here. Seen 7 minutes ago, so that's how much riz I got. I said, they said you couldn't get hotter, comma, the comma's important. They were wrong. So, I don't know, just something about a woman with a gun, and her nails are like done. I was like, okay, mama, I see you. I see what you're doing. You're out here in these streets, protected, thriving, surviving, because everybody's surviving life apparently. But I just thought that says more about me, really. I don't really have anything to contribute to you for today. Besides that, I was like, that is the greatest visual I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. And you know what? Since it's only been like 2 minutes, let's talk about Twitter's algorithm. So they made that public the other day, Twitter's algorithm, and now we have, as the public, and if you're savvy and you're able to kind of understand what it's saying, you can kind of gain and figure out how this algorithm learns and adapts to things and promotes things. So if you're really savvy or know somebody who is, I think it's time to invest on knowing how that Twitter algorithm works. It has been made free for the public to learn about and use and play with, thanks to Elon Cook. But I just think if you can invest the time into learning how to understand Twitter's algorithm, not only will it help you be successful on Twitter, which I honestly think I don't think I'm going to do that, because I can't. Can I be real with you guys for a second? I can handle the comments on like a YouTube video or like an Instagram comment or TikTok even, because I feel like TikTok's the most like the biggest platform you can get fucking comments on. But Twitter comments, I don't think I'm mentally tough enough to handle Twitter comments. That's just me personally, but I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to Fabian about it and see what, because I feel like he has thicker skin than I do, no cap. Because sometimes that shit do be hurt my feelings, but not like often. But I feel like if we would do it on Twitter, it would be often. Like we just got on YouTube again, and I'm like using the Idle Talk page to kind of be like sarcastic in the comments, and I'm hoping people take it that way. But Twitter is a whole different thing. I went viral by accident on Twitter, like mini viral, not even like full viral, where like somebody DM'd me to do an ad under my tweet. If you know, you know. But motherfuckers on Twitter be mean as fuck. Let me tell you, they be mean as shit for no reason. So um, as we wind down this mini, it's not gonna be too long. But I saw this movie called Country Gold the other day with my sister, and it is April, so it's April Chino month at the Alamo Draft House here in Yonkers. So we went to see Scarface. That was the first time I saw that movie. Like no cap, it was a great movie. I love that movie, and it kind of gave me like Greek tragedy kind of like vibes, like going into it, like you start from nothing, you get what you want, and you can never get the things you want. He was trying to get his boss's girl the whole time. He finally gets her, is unhappy with her, is unhappy with himself. Ultimately, there's this weird dynamic with his sister, question mark, and it plays out at the end of the movie. It's a great movie. Al Pacino, good actor. It's just his Cuban accent that he was trying to do while he's like actually Italian was kind of confusing, but we won't hold on to it. But me and my sister have taken a ton of memes from that movie, so it's been cool to kind of get back into watching movies again. But then this Sunday actually, we saw Dog Day Afternoon, and that movie was funny as hell. And I don't think it needed to be funny, but it was an amazing kind of experience to watch this movie with my sister. It was like really like a cult classic, question work? I don't even know. It was just a great movie. Um, my usual server at the Alamo Draft House is back from his trip to Japan. The boy held it down. When I tell you, and you guys might hate me for this, but I don't tip very well. Okay, and here's my thought. Okay, I tip what it says on the bottom. 10% is $7 for your $50 bill. Sure, whatever. It was 47 my bill the other day, and it said, hey, 25% is like $10, which I was like, whatever, $10 is $10. But I tip based off those numbers. Okay, if it's really bad, I will go like, I won't tip the like $7.26. I'll just tip like the $7, right? You know, not getting your 26 cents. But I never tip with cents because I just like it's too much math for me to handle in a dark room. I could barely read a clock on the wall, so it's just less work for me. But I saw on Twitter from a mutual friend that she was replying to him on Twitter, and I was like, oh wait, that's the kid that went to my school. He played football after I graduated. So when I went back to coach for like 2 years, he was there, and I was like, oh, that kid's cool vibes. So as I started noticing he was my server because he was really grinding to go on his trip that he went on. Me and my friend Christian were like, I'm like, yo, he's saving up for money to go on a trip. Let's just tip him good because he always comps something, bro. Always. Like if I got popcorn, free every time. Soda, free every time. And so I kind of made it up in like the bill wise. I'm like, I just tipped him that money, usually in cash. Usually got Christian to give me cash, and then I would tip on the card too. That way he had a little bit extra just to keep for himself in cash to pocket himself. But yeah, so he was back, and he, oh boy, held it down. He was like, yo, you want some free popcorn? I was like, you gonna hold me down? He's like, yes, sir. I was like, bet. So I tell you the story because I only tipped that guy good. That guy and this girl with the high ponytail, this beautiful looking girl. She's just super nice to me and my sister whenever we're there, and it's like, no matter what time it is, no matter what, if we're in there like at fucking 10 a.m. for like we're the only motherfuckers watching, always sweet, always like super considerate, always like timely with the bill, always like, it's like, hey guys, you need anything else before like the movie's almost about to end? Do you guys need anything else? Comes in, talks to us personally every time, no matter if the fucking movie is packed or if it's not. And I don't even think she remembers that it's us most of the time. I think sometimes that she does, but those top two servers at the fucking movie theaters, and I always make sure to tip them good, even when I don't got it. Let's say I got like $80 in my bank account, and my bill's $50. Typically, it's the average I spend at the movie theaters. I'll tip like my bill will end up usually being like $65 to $75. Usually, typically, but those are the only circumstances that I like really tip that like these people well because I go here often, right? So if I'm at a restaurant, like I went back to my college, I think to have breakfast with somebody like randomly like a year ago. Shout out to her, but the waitresses there, I tipped them like extra because when I was in college at the time, I could not afford to tip people. So when I went there for breakfast and we kind of took it to go, I just made sure to tip well because now I was at a point where I could do that. So those circumstances always occur and I can kind of do that, but ultimately it just doesn't. Sometimes when I'm like taking out an order, like I called on the phone and I have to go in and pay, I don't really tip then because like I had to do everything. But yeah, I mean my top two servers are back. I'm at the movie theater, so I'm super excited to keep going and enjoying their service there, and it just makes my experience more amazing. And I told Christian yesterday because he didn't come with us yesterday. I was like, "Yo, our usual server's back. He didn't recognize me. Oh shit!" And even with my name, it says like when I show them the tickets on my phone, it's like Fernando, and it says season pass. And I don't think he put it together until I was like, hey, yo, quick question about these wings. As he was coming, he's like, yo, what's up, bro? I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, oh, they recognize you. He was like, yeah, I know. I was gonna fly incognito, I guess. I guess it was the hat. I was wearing a hat, and he didn't really recognize me. But it was cool to kind of like see, like, it's cool when you know people that kind of like help you out and stuff. So he scratches my back, I scratch his. I definitely, whatever he doesn't charge me, I pay anyway, technically, with a tip. So I love going to the movies. It's part of my non-negotiables. If you didn't know, that's part of my non-negotiables. You better like the movies if you're gonna like be in my life. So, and I discovered that we talked about that on the podcast episode with Jazabelle. So go listen to that. That's still trending in our analytics and behind the scenes. So go check that out. Go check out this past week's Idol Talk and listen to this week's Idol Talk that's gonna come out, season finale for season 1. And subscribe on YouTube. As I said yesterday, we're gonna have this new sleep series, and by today should the second episode of that should be out. So if you have trouble sleeping or you would like to listen to YouTube videos, support your boys. Go on there, listen to the Idol Talk minis on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube in this compilation style format. And I'll see you tomorrow for an Idol Talk mini. And eventually, Fabian will be back talking to you about The Mandalorian. And since the Bad Batch is over, we already talked about that on Idol Talk. That's coming up this week because we pre-recorded it. We didn't know it was going to end, but fuck it. Fuck it. We ball. Listen to that. Listen to Fabian talk about The Mandalorian, because hopefully he can find another show and kind of continue off where we just left. So we'll see you tomorrow.